Shri Rajeev Chandrasekhar, 5 minutes, please.
Sir, thank you, sir. I rise today to speak in support of this historic legislation, which our nation deserves, our nation has waited for, and which it now demands as its right. A legislation which is undoubtedly the first serious attempt at directly countering the menace of corruption that has made the Indian nation weak and hollow at its core. And to quote the Honorable Leader of Opposition, I quote, "We need to restore faith amongst our people in public life and create an effective mechanism to deal with corruption." End quote. Sir, parliamentarians and indeed political parties have traveled a long distance from those early days in 2011, where the popular people's Jan Lokpal movement was treated with scorn and skepticism. The most oft used phrase in those days, and I heard this on many occasions, that this was temporary, or indeed another choice of word was it was elitist. So the last 2 years have proved that the desire amongst all Indians for a change in our governance is a sustained and an unrelenting one, and our response to them as Parliament has been belated but worth congratulating. Sir, I had introduced in the face of much skepticism as a private member's bill, the Jan Lokpal Bill 2011 in August 2011. I too faced derision and scorn from the media and friends alike, but I am proud of the stand that I took, and prouder still of the stand of my fellow members of this House on the near unanimous view of this House in debating and passing of this historic legislation. It is this House that stopped the passage of the weak bill that was passed in the other House, and that further strengthens the prestige of this House and indeed its members. Sir, I will not discuss details of the bill since the Honorable Leader of Opposition and other members have done so, but there are some who argue that this bill doesn't go far enough and have unfortunately characterized this as jokepal. So to them I say this: please appreciate how far we have come. This bill lays the basis of a strong institution. Institutions must be given time to take birth, grow, and evolve to the needs of the times. To them, and indeed civil society and media at large, I also say this: please now move the spotlight to the setting up and functioning of this institution of the Lokpal. This is just the beginning of a process of reforms and changes in governance that our country is embarking on for the first time since independence. Instead of being cynical, I would request them to stay engaged and focused on the many steps required in the coming months and years. So in ending, let me say this: this is an historic day. This is probably the single most important legislation that we are passing post-independence on the issue of governance. Let's understand that we are giving the nation and our people what it seeks from us. Future and current generations will thank us for our near unanimous support for this bill and our efforts at cleaning up governance. So thank you. Jai Hind.
Good, thank you very much.